Hello, YouTube. My name's Terry, and I wanted to go over a couple of things about the Sig P365 X. This is a gun that I've had for probably about a little over a year now, and it's been my everyday carry. I do want to go ahead and start out with something that won't get me dinged, so I want to let you know that the magazines I'm showing here are clear, and also this gun as well is also clear. You can see me through there. There is no round in the chamber or anything like that. So here's what I have to say about this one. There is not a lot of content out there about this that you can find because I feel like it's one of the more slept on options with the Sig Sauer P365. So for this gun, like I said, I've been carrying it for a year. It is, so breakdown of what it is. It's the Sig Sauer P365 Slide, but it has a full-size grip, and it's a really good grip. You get that pinky out there, which is very important for some people. Another thing about this particular one is that this is the option that comes with a thumb safety, which is very important for me, I feel. I'm kind of getting away from the thumb safety, but at the time it was pretty major that I would be able to have one. So to get this one, I got it on guns.com, and I've heard that you kind of get what you get on there. So, just be careful buying from them. Also, I'm not selling anything YouTube, please don't think I am. I'm just giving educational content on this. But to find a thumb safety, super hard to do in my area. So if you can find one with the thumb safety, if that's important to you, just do your research, look around, look online. Another thing, my holster of choice, and there is better stuff than this out here, but this is a We the People Kydex with a little, I forgot what you call these. I believe they call this a wing, and that's pretty good. I actually really like it, and it fits like a glove. It conceals pretty good for having an extended grip. It's doable, it's manageable. Also, I want to mention I have like the same size hands as my wife, except I have much fatter fingers. So for having, smallish hands, this is pretty good. My only gripe is that when I have to release a magazine, to get to that button is a little bit hard. I kind of have to stretch a little bit with my thumb, so I typically just use my other hand, pop it out, and go from there. I also have, it came with 2 flush-fitting magazines, and that holds 12 plus 1 in the pipe. And then I bought a extended magazine. This one holds 17, and it is very nice to look at when this is all put together. The optic I have is a Holosun 507K, and I really like it. It's my first optic. Pretty good. As far as issues go, so one issue that I had was like right out the gate, maybe 3 months into owning this, my night sights, this gun also has night sights, by the way. As you know, Sig has really good iron sights that also glow in the dark. My front sight post went out. It would not glow in the dark. So what I did was I boxed it up, sent it over to Sig, had them fulfill their warranty on it, and they actually had really good customer service. I think I had this back, and I think I have the slide back in about maybe 2.5 weeks, which, it was okay. Like, that's fine. And then as far as problems go for this gun specifically, just to be quite honest with you, when I was doing a bunch of research on this pistol, because I like to research before I buy things, a big problem that people had with pretty much the Sig P365 line is that it had problems with the finish on the pistol, which if you've been doing like a bunch of research like I did, you probably already know that, but rust tends to generate where you have your optic cut out right here. and there is a little bit of some paint tarnishing sometimes on the plate. I actually have mine, but I don't know where it is. It's in a box somewhere. But it also will appear on like where the iron sights connect to the pistol. Another issue is that some people have problems with the mags, which I don't have any problem with. I've never had a problem with any of the mags rusting, but sometimes they can rust out of the bottom, like where the plate is around here. I've seen some pretty bad stuff in that area. And I want to clarify, not me personally, just other people on YouTube that I watch about this gun. So why is this gun slept on? Well, everybody looks at the P365 and just buys it. They have more readily available thumb safety options for those. For this one, it is so easily glanced over. Like, I'm pretty sure I saw somebody record something from SHOT Show, and Sig Sauer was there, and they had this whole line of pistols from the 365 series. I don't even know if they had one of these on the line, because they had the Fuse, they had the original, they had the macro, but this one is just so, I feel like it's slept on a bit. I ended up holding this for the first time when I kind of looked for the 365 line, and they said this one's got a full grip, so when I squeezed it, it was good. Let's see, anything else I could share with you guys? Another thing I feel is important to share is for the optic on this gun, the 507K, the 365 has a direct mount for this, so you don't have to buy anything else to put this on. You just buy the optic and put it right on. So I thought that was pretty cool. As far as my defensive ammunition that I use Hornady Critical Defense hollow point ammunition, and never ran into a problem with that. So one of the bigger selling points on this gun was actually also the trigger. So if you look at the 365, the typical one, it looks like a hook. This one is a flat face trigger, and when you go to pull the trigger, I can show you. Here is, right there's the wall. Nice clean break. And then for the reset, sorry, I forgot that I still had a magazine in here. Let's try this again with that one in there. So here is this. Reset. Pretty instantaneous. You like barely even have to lift up on that. So that was a big one because you have a better trigger, better grip. So that's really good. And as far as shootability of this gun, when I was shooting it, I noticed the recoil is pretty manageable. It's not really that bad. It's not like super flat shooting, but you just have to find a way how to like just like control the recoil with your grip. It's really not that bad. If you have a poor grip, of course, it's going to not really do that well for you, but as long as you have a good grip, you should be fine. As far as like primer strikes, or light primer strikes, I should say, I've only had a couple, but I feel like it was bad primers. I really don't think that it was a light primer strike from mine. I know that that was a issue with the P365, the original ones that first came out. They were having some issues with light primer strikes, like the first ones off the line. So there's that. So overall, I think that this gun is very ergonomic. Something I would recommend though is if you get one of these is know what you're getting into with the finish. So if you see something wrong out of the box, I would not recommend you go for it. It really depends on which one you get, because there has been some rust people have seen along here, along these types of attachments. People have noticed it on the trigger. People have noticed it on this side right here. So I would recommend if you do get one, make sure you oil it like once a week. I live in Florida, so the sweat and everything getting into right here can be bad for business in that area. So other than the finish, I would say this is pretty good. It's very ergonomic, very nice to hold. But yeah, that would be my recommendation. Just oil it once a week if you can help it. With here's what I use. I use Hoppy's Elite, and it says superior lubrication and corrosion protection. I got this at Walmart. See, I also use a Hoppy's number 9. I just kind of rotate between the two. I don't really know the big differences on those, but if you take care of this, it should be good. So anyways, thanks for the view. This thing does not have enough content out there. Whenever I look this up, I see videos from like 2, 3, 4 years ago or something like that. It's kind of newish, but like I said, not a lot of people talk about this. I think it's good. I don't think it's perfect. Sig Sauer also has like a very tricky warranty. So if you do have rust right out the gate, that is not covered in the warranty. No rust whatsoever is covered in the warranty. So that's something worth noting there. Hopefully, I had you make a informed decision on whether to buy one of these. I personally, there would be a couple of other things that I would choose over this. Of course, if you get a Smith & Wesson Shield Plus, that would be an excellent alternative to this. But the decision's up to you, of course. Hopefully, I helped you make a good decision. I did have the original Shield before the Plus version came out, and I was very happy with it. That thing could run like a workhorse. So, anyways, like I said, hopefully I made you make an informed decision. Have a great day.